Welcome to BNEWS Weekly. I'm Phil Gallagher, along with BNEWS producer Sydney Bowles, BNEWS reporters Tad Stefanak, Chris Flaherty, Robert Paris, and John Vias, Peter Brown with the weather, Anthony Matos with sports, and Gretchen Carey with community calendar. We begin today with a loss for the Burlington community, as longtime community leader Al Fay has passed away this morning. Al was a retired Burlington firefighter and served on many boards and commissions in town, including the Select Board, the Planning Board, and the Housing Authority. He was named Burlington's Outstanding Citizen in 2017, and he was also well known for his involvement with the Special Olympics. Al was truly a son of Burlington. He loved to tell a story about his favorite elementary school teacher telling him if he didn't study hard, he'd end up working for the town. But perhaps the teacher was prophetic, because that's how he spent his entire career as a Burlington firefighter, a job which he loved. A job isn't work when you love it, he said. After his retirement, he became even more active with the town. Almost every event featured Al driving kids around in his ubiquitous red fire engine. He started and ran the kids' favorite, Truck Day, for about 25 years, and families loved to visit Fay's Fire Museum with firefighter memorabilia from the days of yore. These are just a few of Al's many contributions to Burlington. We'll post a full obituary on our website at bcattv.org when it's available. A wake will be held from 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. on Tuesday, January 9th at Sullivan Funeral Home, with a funeral mass scheduled for 10 a.m. on Wednesday, January 10 at St. Margaret's Church. We want to share this brief tribute to Al.
I liked it so much, I took the exam and I went on the fire department in late 59, early 60.
Al's got a long list of accomplishments in town. He was a fire prevention officer. He's always been involved in some form of politics. Longtime member of the Planning Board, and has served as member of the Board of Selectmen and chairman. And of course, he's been involved in Truck Day, one of the real great events in the town of Burlington.
I guess after spending so many years in the fire department, I've been collecting toys for so long, I kind of thought that I would start a museum.
I'm here with my man, Al Fay, Santa's personal escort to Burlington.
A full special on Al's life and contributions is to come. Our staff is currently in production right now as we speak. He certainly will be missed. There are a lot of ways to participate in democracy this year, from local to national elections. BNews producer Sydney Bowles has your rundown of the year ahead.
2024 is a big year for elections. The national general elections are coming up in the fall, but local and state elections and the national primaries are happening all throughout the year. So here's your rundown. On Tuesday, March 5th, Democrats and Republicans can vote in the 2024 presidential primary. Unaffiliated voters can pick the party ballot they'd like to use this year. On Saturday, April 6th, Burlington will hold its local election, with seats open on the Select Board, the School Committee, the Board of Health, and other important offices. Then, on September 3rd, Massachusetts will hold its state primary, and the national presidential election is November 5th. You should vote in all these elections, and register to vote if you haven't already. But there's even one more way to get involved. Right now, in January, you can take out papers to run for office yourself.
What I often recommend to people is take a look about if there's something that you're passionate about. For me, it was first getting involved with the library, because I felt strongly about what a local library should do and what it should be involved with. I soon found out that some of those things maybe were not, they were my assumptions, they weren't accurate. But once you get involved, you start to understand what really is involved and what you can do. And it is amazing what an individual can do on the local level.
You know what else is starting in January? Paperwork to vote by mail. Amy Warfield again.
All registered voters are going to start to get a postcard from the Secretary of State's office. That postcard will allow you to register if you want to have a vote by mail ballot, if you want to do it for all the elections in 2024, or if you just want to do it for certain elections in 2024.
BCAT will be covering these election cycles as they unfold, so stay tuned on TV, on YouTube, and in your email inbox. I'm Sydney Bowles.
For more than 30 years, Burlington community leaders have been running Project Ezra, and this was its biggest year yet. The mission is simple. On Christmas Day, members of the community, many of whom are Jewish, gather to make and serve a meal to those who don't have enough. This year, Project Ezra fed more than 1,700 people from Burlington, Bedford, Billerica, and other surrounding communities. The effort used 900 pounds of roast beef, 750 pounds of potatoes, and gallons of canned vegetables. The project is led by Dr. Ed Weiner, the chair of the Burlington Board of Health, along with his son, Jonathan Weiner. Community leaders include State Representative Ken Gordon and local attorney Bob Buckley, among others. Ed Weiner, who is Jewish, said Christmas may not be his religious holiday, but it is his favorite holiday. He said, and I quote, "Where else can I go to spend 2 or 3 days with my closest friends and my relatives and my son working together to feed over 1,700 hungry individuals? I look forward to Christmas every year for over 30 years." With a ceremonial wall breaking, construction has begun on the new UMass Chan Leahy Regional Medical Campus. That's on the grounds of the local hospital at 29 Wall Road. The Burlington campus is a collaboration between Burlington's hospital and the Worcester-based UMass Chan Medical School. Its program will emphasize leadership, health systems science, and interprofessional education. The new campus is scheduled to open this spring with 25 students in the inaugural class. The campus will feature 4 high-tech classrooms, space for a standardized patient program, study pods, collaboration space, offices, and conference facilities, among other amenities. Any amount of public service is commendable, and 23 years of public service certainly is. Kevin Sullivan served out on the Burlington Recreation Commission for more than 2 decades before he retired last year. And the Rec Commission honored him at a recent meeting. Chris Flaherty has more.
Last April, local businessman Kevin Sullivan decided to not seek re-election after serving for 23 years on the Recreation Commission. At the December 13th meeting of the Commission, Recreation Board and staff honored Sullivan for his service.
Actually, Kevin was the reason why I ended up being a Recreation Commissioner. I was probably 7, 8 years ago. He asked me to be, if I would be willing to give my time to be on the Commission. And I was a little hesitant, but he told me what was involved, and I put my hat in the ring, and I thank him for that. Kevin is obviously a well-respected citizen in Burlington, and what he's done for the town over the last 23 years on the Recreation Commission is invaluable. I learned a lot from him, especially during COVID when we were sort of shut down. He helped me through the process. I was chairman during that time. He made me feel at ease, and he's just a great guy.
I probably worked with Kevin for 18 of the 23 years he served, first as a recreation supervisor and then later in my career as the Director of Parks and Recreation. Kevin definitely cares about Burlington and the Parks and Recreation Department. Always willing to help out, looking to be a part of solution to any issue, and doing what is in the best interest of our residents and our participants.
Both Norton and Egan agree that Sullivan has made a lasting impact on Parks and Recreation and the Burlington community.
Kevin liked to look at things not from, just the Recreation Department, Parks and Recreation Department and what we need and why we need it, but look at, bigger and what questions are going to come from town meeting members on the floor at town meeting, or come from Ways and Means, come from capital budget, being prepared with those. So I try to do that to this day.
I've known Kevin for a long time. I went to school with him, and I just think that, what he's given back to the town, what his family's given back with his business, and how he's helped people in this town throughout the years is what I'll remember about Kevin.
I get excited whenever people talked about Burlington. They always brought up recreation. is one of the best things, and I got to be a little part of it, and it was awesome.
We at B News wish Kevin Sullivan nothing but the best in this next chapter. Until next time, this is Chris Flaherty for BNEWS Weekly.
The Herb Chambers Honda dealership in Burlington is hoping to expand the footprint of its 93 Cambridge Street building, and to do that, it needs approval from town meeting. Herb Chambers says the expansion will help it provide a more modern experience for its customers, improve the streetscape for pedestrians, as well as improving the commercial structures along the stretch of Cambridge Street. But some neighbors who live near the development say it will change the character of their community, and they're urging town meeting to say no. BCAT volunteer Brendan Lucas produced a video project along with his neighbors. Here's a short clip from that project.
Dealership on Cambridge Street in Burlington, which is owned by the billionaire Herb Chambers, seeks to expand into property which directly abuts our homes.
This area is quite a quaint community, and that's what we're trying to save. I literally live across the street from the high school. We're at one of the drop-off areas for Burlington High. Children are dropped off here. This place is where people also come and stay for a few minutes if they have something quick to do at the high school. This is a dead-end street. The traffic flow increase would be detrimental. There are small students here from the lab. You have parents walking their children. You have teachers walking literally up this street to get some exercise. You have a group home that's always walking up and down this street in the summertime. It's a beautiful, peaceful space. And we're asking that you help us to reserve and maintain our integrity, our home, our space.
Burlington High School students have some new art to enjoy as they move around the building. Tad Stefanak has the story behind some new murals going up around the school.
The main hallway of Burlington High School is going through an artistic renaissance. Under the tutelage of Burlington Public Schools Visual Arts Coordinator George Ratkovich.
I guess we chose this space, well, the teacher chose this space for us because everyone is going to be able to see it and feel represented when they go through it.
And Mr. Ratkovich wanted something colorful and just something fun that people can look at when they're walking through the hallways.
And our teacher said he's been planning this for 20 years. He really wants us to do well on it, so we're going to try our hardest. I think it's coming along good so far.
We wanted to make sure it accurately represented BHS. If you look back at some of the older murals, they're sad little Victorian children and stuff, and that's not very relevant to current BHS.
We made a collage, and then we're doing the murals to represent various communities, various peoples and cultures around BHS.
It's just more we wanted to get all kind of inclusivity and everything. We made sure not to have too many of one type of person. We wanted to have everyone feel included.
He wanted us to have every aspect of the school in it, so we have some art, some science, and then we have one music one up there.
Helps unify this sort of hallway and stuff. It gives you something to look at, something kind of scenic and pretty.
I mean, for art, you really just got to pace yourself. Don't try and do it the night before. Make sure you get it in on time, and that's the only way it'll turn out good.
We are working very hard on it, so please, when you go through them, just look at them, just pay some attention.
From the main hallway of Burlington High School, I'm B News reporter Tad Stefanak.
BHS has a new chorus director, ringing in a new era for our talented singers. John Vias has more.
A new face is joining the faculty of Burlington High School from Stowe, Massachusetts. Former elementary school educator Elizabeth Holmgren is the newest member of the BHS Performing Arts Department, the new chorus teacher.
I've been a musician ever since I can remember, and I grew up singing and playing multiple instruments regularly. I have a lot of experience singing in chorus and serving as working in elementary schools as a chorus director and band director, as well as high school in some other districts. And it was a nice opportunity to come to Burlington and to dig in with their chorus and orchestra.
Oh, well, we're very happy to have Beth joining us here. She's been a great asset so far. Timing was not great in the middle of the year to have a vacancy. Mrs. Julie Weller is now the health teacher here at the high school, and she's happy in her new position, and we're happy for her. But it definitely leaves some big shoes to fill, so we were delighted when we got Beth's resume and application. So yeah, we're excited to move forward.
She's only started her new chapter towards the beginning of the new year, and already has she hit a high note, inspiring her students to bring out the best of their musical abilities.
I'm so excited and optimistic that it's going to be a special second semester, just working towards some other concert programs. And we have our big Orlando trip coming up, and I think we might have a couple other little things coming up too. So I'm just really excited for the performances and helping them to get ready for the performances.
And of course, her duties aren't limited to just chorus.
She's also going to be doing the orchestra and teaching guitar as well. Lots to do, lots to keep up with.
Elizabeth Holmgren also has some encouraging words to share with her groups of young musicians and vocalists.
If you want to make music, there is room for everyone, and there's room and space to do it. Everybody is invited, everybody's welcome to play, and just, keep it in your life, and it really helps enrich your life, even if it's not your career, and it's not something that you do as a job. It really does make your life better and more fun and more interesting, and you meet a lot of really fun people along the way.
From Burlington High School, this is John Vias for BNews.
There's an opportunity coming up for students who might be interested in an alternative high school experience. Shawshene Valley Technical High School is hosting an open house on January 17th, where prospective students and parents can talk to teachers, coaches, and club advisors and explore different programs. Shawshene offers core academic programming as well as vocational programs in advanced manufacturing, car collision repair, cosmetology, health assisting, plumbing, and more. The event will take place from 6 to 8 p.m. As we turn the calendar page to a new year and a new month, there's lots of new activities going on at the Senior Center. Council on Aging Director Marge Jetman was in the studio recently to talk about the programming. On Tuesday, January 9th, the Senior Center will host a conversation on Israel and Hamas, steering clear of sensationalism to offer a nuanced look. And then on January 10th, something a little lighter. Here's Marge Jetman in conversation with Sydney Bowles.
Yes. We have an illusionist coming in.
We do. This is so exciting. And this is like the next day. So Israel Hamas, I think, is actually the second Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
I believe. And Lynn Dilly's Master Illusionist is this, the Wednesday after.
Okay.
So the second Wednesday.
Second Wednesday of the month.
Yes. Because we have the New Orleans Jazz Band the first Wednesday of every month, so that when we have months where the newsletter is late, everybody knows what's going on. So I'm going to just read her little piece of her bio here.
Yeah.
In 2013, she's the first female illusionist in history to receive the prestigious Milbourne Christopher Award from the Society of American Magicians. And this is like the Academy Award of Magic. So for anybody who actually knows what it is. David Copperfield, Penn and Taylor, and Siegfried and Roy have all won this award. And she also won the Merlin Award for Female Illusionist of the Year from the International Magician Society in 2009. So she is, she's up there. She's a good illusionist.
Later in the month, you can catch harpist Susan Wright Reagan at 1 p.m. on January 23rd. Speaking of the Senior Center, there's a new tool available to help those over 60 find ways to live their healthiest lives. And amazingly, the Council on Aging doesn't just use this tool, they help to build it. Sydney Bowles again.
So imagine a ladder with steps numbered from 0 at the bottom to 10 at the top. Which step of the ladder would you say you personally feel you stand at this time? So I think we'll just do kind of let's do 8.
Council on Aging Director Marge Jetman is filling out a survey for an imaginary client named Jim.
How strongly do you agree with the following statement? I have a sense of direction and purpose in life. We'll do a 7.
The survey asks about physical health, financial health, caretaking responsibilities, emotional support systems, and even about fun. It's a new tool designed by Better Age, and only a handful of senior centers have access to it. Burlington is on that shortlist because Marge Jetman was on a team of people that helped to build the tool.
We called ourselves the Innovation Squad.
To develop our service, we reached out to 10 of the best community-based organizations in the United States, including the Burlington Council on Aging. These centers and participants from each of these centers were deeply involved over a 9-month period in focus groups and feedback loops and test surveys, helping us design a service that would really work for older adults and for their caregivers.
The big overarching problem that we're really trying to find an answer to is how to find ways to kind of broadly help seniors, right? Anybody who's 60 and over. How do we reach them to help them be healthier, whether it's physically, emotionally, mentally? What do they need, and do they know what they need?
So how did the fictional Jim do?
So you get your health and well-being summary when you're done with the quiz, and green is you are thriving, you're doing great, you don't necessarily keep up the good work is basically what the message is there. If you're struggling a bit, you're surviving, so you're kind of on the edge. Community connections and fun for Jim. You could work on it a little bit. And Jim is really struggling in the orange with financial well-being, loneliness, and mental health. We're going to scroll down to our assessment and recommendations. So assessment, like many men of your age, you're doing well in many areas, but you also have challenges and areas for improvement. While it can feel overwhelming, the good news is that there are solutions and resources available that we believe will help you.
The survey data is anonymized and shared with administrators.
As time goes on and more people use it and we get more data, we'll be able to tell what people are struggling with.
From the Burlington Senior Center, I'm Sydney Bowles.
Bringing home the classroom pet is almost a rite of passage for lots of school kids, and a program to do just that exists right here in Burlington. On the latest edition of Critters Up Close, we meet some gerbils who get to explore their world through the Vacation Animal Fostering Program.
For almost 40 years, the Burlington Science Center has been lending out animals to teachers' classrooms and to families to take care of during vacations and holidays.
We use a variety of different animals, but one of our most popular and most used animals that we have are gerbils. Gerbils are very much a low-maintenance pet. They're also very active and display a lot of behaviors. They're also very sweet and gentle by nature, and they're just, cute. A lot of kids really connect with those furry and fuzzy animals. So things like gerbils and hamsters, kids really connect to. They call them pocket pets because they, fit in your pocket. So they're just, really kind of attractive towards little kids and students. They're more their size rather than something bigger. They need food, they need water, they need shelter, they need enrichment, they need to keep themselves busy and their brains stimulated. It's not only about experience and learning about the pet, but it's really about the responsibility.
If you're interested, you can contact Wendy Pavlicek at pavlicek@bpsk12.org or at 781-270-2928.
An exciting milestone for a BHS athlete this week. Let's turn to Anthony Matos for the latest in high school sports.
Hey everyone, I'm Anthony Matos. This is Weekly Sports Report, and Happy New Year to all. We start off this year with a bang as Cedric Rodriguez, senior captain basketball team, surpassed his 1,000th career point during a game against Arlington. From We'll go to BNEWS Sports reporter Robert Paris.
He's looking for that 1,000. You can see it in his eyes.
It was history in the making. As senior captain of boys basketball, Cedric Rodriguez has surpassed a 1,000-point milestone.
Yeah, it was truly a blessing having a lot of people from Burlington, all the BYBA players, the younger players coming here, and all the parents and just the people in the Burlington community watch me hit it. It was truly a blessing. I thank my teammates and my coaches because, this is not possible without them.
Rodriguez got a standing ovation by the crowd, coaches, his parents, and athletes.
Obviously, I can't do it without my parents either. They've been by my side since day one, so just to be able to share that moment with them, they paused the game so I can go give my teammates high fives and give my parents a hug, so that really meant a lot to me.
Coach Connors had nothing to say but positive things about Cedric and is looking forward to seeing what he will accomplish in the remainder of the season.
He's just worked so hard to become an elite shooter. Never mind, now he can score at all three levels. Everybody in the school loves him. He works with the special needs basketball team. He's an absolute, I'm just so lucky to have coached him, and hopefully we can finish out his senior year in a great fashion because he deserves it, because you just don't come across kids as talented, dedicated, and hardworking and humble as he is. He's a dream. He's just an absolute dream, and I'm lucky to coach him.
Once again, we want to congratulate Cedric on a fantastic accomplishment. From the Vanilla Gym at Burlington High School, I'm Robert Paris for BNEWS Sports.
Burlington boys basketball won in a nail-biter at 55-54. The team is now 3-4 on the year. Lady Devils basketball had a date with Arlington on January 2nd and lost to the Spy Ponders 35-23. Burlington remains winless with an 0-6 record. Lady Devils hockey and Red Devil hockey were both back at the Burlington Ice Palace on January 3rd with the Stoneham Spartans. Both teams won in their matches, 2-1 for the girls and 4-1 for the boys. The girls moved to 5-1 and the boys are 2-4-1. Devils wrestling are 1-8 after losing 30-42 against Wilmington on January 4th. Burlington will hit the road over the weekend as Winchester will host a tri-meet with Hanover and North Reading. The Devils boys swimming team is 0-2 after a 58-96 loss to Belmont on December 14th and a 63-86 loss to Reading Memorial on December 21st. Burlington is back on January 4th with Haverhill as this taping. The meet is underway. Both indoor track teams had a number of meets during the end of the calendar year, including Stoneham, Melrose, and Watertown. The girls are currently 1-2 after 2 losses to Stoneham and Melrose, with scores of 43-57 in both games, and a win over Watertown 58-38. The boys are currently 3-0 after wins over Stoneham 86-14, Melrose 51-49, and Watertown 75-25. Both teams will compete at the BU Track and Tennis Center on January 9th against Wilmington. For more Red Devil action, go to bcattv.org/sports and check out our Twitter page at BNEWS Sports. That's all for now. I'm Anthony Matos. Back to you guys in the studio.
It's shaping up to be a messy winter weekend. Let's check in with Peter Brown for the forecast and stay tuned after the weather for your community calendar with Gretchen Carey.
Well, hello everyone, this is Peter Brown with Look at Your Weather for the next 7 days. Happy New Year to all of you. I know it's hard to believe we are into January. We are in the heart of winter, but starting our period on Friday, getting in towards the end of the first week of January, we should be seeing highs at this time of the year in the mid-30s. This is the chilliest part of the year, and that's about where we're going to be as we start out our period. And as we get in towards the end of next week, our average highs again still now staying in the mid-30s. And again, that's pretty much where we're going to end up. Going to be a fairly average week, I think, in terms of temperatures. Now, looking at our temperature map, they're calling for us to have a chance of above average temperatures. That I'm not quite sure of. We might get a little bit milder as we get in towards the middle of next week when we see maybe a messy mix of some snow and maybe some heavy rain moving in, but not really going to be too warm out there. And unfortunately, looking at our precipitation chances, we are going to have, I think, above average precipitation. That's pretty much going to match up with what the Climate Prediction Center is calling for. We're going to see the clouds moving in on Saturday night, and that's when we have a fairly good-sized storm approaching the New England area here on Saturday night into Sunday. We're going to have a messy mix, I think, of snow, sleet, and rain in the Burlington area. Again, we're going to have to hammer out those amounts, as it's going to be kind of tricky to see how close the storm gets to us, but we're going to have a pretty good chance, our best chance of snow that we've seen since last winter. So get those shovels ready out there. Not sure how much snow we're going to be getting right now, so stay tuned to your local media outlets for that. Then as we get past that and getting into the start of the work week, the sun's going to come back out. Going to be pretty chilly on Monday, temperatures in the low 30s. Thereafter, getting in towards the second half of Tuesday and into Wednesday, we're going to see another messy storm approaching us. Looks like we could start out with a small burst of snow, followed by some heavy rain coming in, but pretty chilly out there. Temperatures staying in the upper 30s to around 40. And thereafter, the sun is going to come back out and it's going to get a little bit quiet again out here. Temperatures, again, pretty seasonable as we get towards the end of the period, rounding out in the upper 30s by Thursday. So everyone, get out there, enjoy the weather, and have a great week.
Hey everyone, I'm Gretchen Carey, and this is your Community Calendar. On January 10th from 7 to 8 p.m., the Burlington Public Library will be having a hybrid presentation called The Woman Who Stole Vermeer with Anthony Amore. Pre-registration is required. For more information and to register, go to the library website. On January 12th from 6 to 8 p.m., the Made in Burlington store will be having a snowman weaving class. Everyone is welcome. Register at the following website. On January 15th from 6 to 8 p.m., learn how to make candles at Osteria Nino at 3rd Ave. For more information, go to the following website. For more community calendar events, go to bcattv.org, burlingtonpubliclibrary.org, and burlingtonrecreation.org. I'm Gretchen Carey, and that was your Community Calendar.
With a photo from a member of the community, Mike Espeo was at the game where Cedric Rodriguez scored his 1,000th point, and he sent in this picture. Congratulations to Cedric, and thanks to Mike for sending this in. If you have a photo you want to see featured here, email it to us at bcat@bcattv.org with the subject line Photo of the Week. That's the program for this week. We're going to leave you with a tribute to the late Al Fay. Thank you for joining us. I'm Phil Gallagher. We'll see you next week.